I had a lot of names I was thinking of calling this video. The cult of suffering, the religion of suffering, but see, cult by definition means a small religion, a small radicalized religion. So it isn't a cult because we are all guilty of this to varying degrees. Um, I don't particularly like the way religion of suffering rolls off the tongue either. So we're going to go with the church of suffering. Now, the Church of Suffering is an idea that, it's something we know, we just don't put into words, and we should. Words are important. I know that, the internet loves to take away words from our lexicon, but, it's a crime. It's a crime both in the legal sense and in the metaphorical sense. That's for another time. The point is that we as human beings predicate on suffering. I'll give you an example. Say you're working at a restaurant, you're a dishwasher. You wash dishes a lot, periodically. Nobody notices you doing your job as a dishwasher. Like, you wash those dishes day in and day out, time after time, week after week, and it just becomes the normalcy of life. They see you, they see the dishes, they know, that's it. It's a rhythm. Let's say one day you spurg out and decide to break the dishes and walk out. They're going to remember that for the rest of their life. It may never happen again. It might be the only time that happens in their lifetime. It will forever have an impact on them because you went against the woodwork. You went against the woodwork of their perceived reality that you're the dishwasher and you do the dishes and that's it. And if something bad happens to you, that's on you. That is just, you have to deal with that in your personal life, internalize it, whatever. You're not to externalize that. So that's why I call this the Church of Suffering, because why should it take that to have any sort of emotional impact on your being? You don't appreciate the guy behind, the restaurant doors cleaning the piles and piles of dishes. You don't even think about it. But you think about him freaking out and breaking dishes. Why? That was maybe 10 seconds out of your life, but you'll remember it because that's what I'm saying, that you exist in this state where any sort of negativity, that's what you remember, but you don't remember the positive. So how can you hope to exemplify and amplify more positive if you're working within these boundaries of, any little negativity, that's what I'm going to remember, that's what is going to impact me, that's what's going to influence me. So when we talk about Neville Goddard and law of attraction and shit, we have to come to the conclusion that we are starting from the ground up. We are reinventing the wheel here because there is so much ingrained in us from the time we are little that completely contradicts this. That you're going upstream. You're a salmon going upstream. Another example. This is probably for any younger people watching this. Your parents. Your parents are probably retarded, but let's be honest, they're just human beings, they're just like you, they're just bigger you, you know what I'm saying, like, they're just you, but they've lived longer, so yeah, they might know some more things, and you have to give them the benefit of the doubt that, they're tired, they got shit to worry about too, and they go to work and things like that, and that's stressful, and that's all understandable. I remember being a child, and I knew that my parents had a lot on their mind and that they were just doing the best they could in life. Everybody is. But there's a lot of things that they didn't have to do that were negative that, there's no excusing. And they had no concept of self-awareness for it. And whenever any of it was brought up, if I had any reaction other than just total obedience, they would lash out. So... And this is not, like, I'm not saying it's right, and I'm not saying that it's something to dwell on. I'm saying that it's something we need to observe and then stop doing as individuals. Because I'm sure you do it in your own life. Maybe not in that regard, but maybe in another regard. And, you have to think, if you're a parent and you have a child, rationally speaking, You have just committed a heinous crime of violating a living thing on a spiritual level. You have brought into existence this being that is dumb, naked, and afraid because you wanted to fuck. That's really it. You fucked, you brought this living thing into the world, but now you're their authority because you decided to fuck? They're not fucking. They ain't having a good time. And now they are subject to your rule. Yay! That's fucking ridiculous. But what's the alternative? The alternative is that what? They go to foster care? Or the government takes care of them? So yes, I understand why you're their parent, but I also understand why you shouldn't be a parent. Why being a parent is actually it's a violation. It's a violation of our humanity that we are even putting ourselves or them in that position. And nobody wants to think about that. People are like, oh, I have great parents. You probably do. Oh, my parents love me. I'm sure they love you to the best of their ability. I'm sure you have wonderful parents. But the fact of the matter is, that's what happens. You have brought a living thing into this world that is just as sentient and just as capable as you are, has no comprehension of it whatsoever at this juncture, and they are subject to your authority when you don't know what the fuck you're doing either. All because you wanted to come in some pussy. It's pretty bad. And I could go on and on and on with other examples. School, health jobs, just even basic human interactions, the lies we tell ourselves and other people, and things like that. If you sat down and thought about all of it, you'd be like, well, goddamn, I'm surprised I haven't killed myself yet. I'm surprised too, so it is the church of suffering. It is just complete and utter misery all the time over the dumbest shit that you could either have completely avoided, or if you just thought about it for a few moments, you might have been able to tweak it a little to where at the very least it wasn't as bad. But you don't, because you just accept it, assuming the position that was just how life works and that's just the way things are, and you go with it rather than resist it. It's ironic that, a lot of attraction people always talk about how you can't resist the change. You gotta detach. No, you're supposed to resist, because this is not right. What you want right now is not right. Like, is this working for you right now? Is the way you are at this moment happy? Are you happy? It's a very simple question. If you're not happy, then you want to go to a different direction. You do not want to be going in this direction if you're unhappy, because guess what? You're going to keep going in that direction and you're going to keep being unhappy. So you want to go to this direction. Now, does that mean that you should dwell on it and you should pine over the fact that you're not in this direction? No. But what I'm saying is that you have to have the self-awareness that you are here and you want to be there. That's really it. So, and I don't know how to go about having you personally come to that conclusion on your own, but it is something to think about. It is something to ponder upon. And people word things differently. I notice like 99% of the time people get upset with what I say, not because they actually morally oppose what I say or I am in great opposition to what they feel, but because they just misinterpret how I'm wording it. They get this like sensation that, because of the certain words I use or my tone or whatever, that, but then again, I'm challenging their perception of reality. So that's probably why they're responding the way they do. It's attacking them on an existential level. So, and that could probably have a greater consequence to the psyche than if I was just to punch them in the face. Ironically, it's far less legal for me to punch them in the face. Go figure. So, you gotta take what you can and learn from it, but just realize that you who are trying to learn about manifestation and shit like that have to understand that you are essentially a baby again. You're born again. Ooh. Because, you have to realize that you have lived your entire life up to this point in a state of negativity where, oh, shit just happens and I gotta deal with it. I gotta pull myself up from the bootstraps or whatever the fuck you tell yourself. It's fate, it's God, it's this, it's that. And you never gave yourself enough credit to be like, I don't deserve this. I deserve better than this. I'm gonna do everything I can to have better, whether it be by underhanded means or not. Whether, it doesn't matter what your personal morality is. The fact of the matter is, you don't deserve to be miserable. There is nothing you can do, there is nothing you have done that could warrant it, but you are miserable. So, now that you know you're miserable, now that you know that everybody else is miserable, before you can even ask what you're going to do about it, you have to ask, well, why are we miserable? What made us miserable? And, what can we do to stop the misery, to stop being so miserable? That's where I think that, this starts, rather than, oh, I want my ex back. Oh, I want to get an ace on these exams. I mean, these are all well and good. If you want those things, hey, it'll make you happier, go for it. But, I try to look deeper into this because, the fact of the matter is there are going to be things in life that are going to upset you and are going to just annihilate you. And, it will lessen the burden immensely if you understand it and if you, contemplate it.